What's up guys, DenDenBMX here. Today is a very special day because it is the day that we finally start to review all... How many guitars do I have? All my guitars that I currently own. And we're going to start off with my most recent purchase, which is that pretty little white thing over there, the Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro. That is the creepiest ice cream truck song that I've ever heard. Alright, so I know that there's like 1.5 million people that do guitar reviews here on YouTube, but the reason I wanted to do it is I just wanted to review the guitars that I have and just be able to talk to you guys more about my guitar collection and why I chose to get the guitars I did. And I'll try and make these reviews a little bit different. So I'm thinking the layout for these is first I'll just like list off the specs, like every other review, and then maybe I'll talk about why I chose to get that guitar and what made me want to get it. And then for the last part of the review, I'll give you guys like my pros and cons and what I do like and what I don't like about the guitar. And then just sprinkled throughout all that, just have clips of me playing and then some really nice B-roll shots. And so I hope you guys will enjoy my new series of guitar reviews. And if you do, let me know by leaving a like, leaving a comment, sharing the video around, subscribing for more if you haven't already, hitting the bell notification. I'm almost at 8,000 followers here on YouTube. And then also follow me on Instagram at DenDenBMX. I post a bunch of clips there too. I'm almost at 10,000 there, which is a little nuts to think about, but maybe help my YouTube catch up to my Instagram, you know? So make sure you subscribe. I'm a tool. I think that's how I'm going to do my guitar reviews. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Let's list off the specs for my 2014 Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro. This guitar is a mahogany body and a mahogany neck. And now here's where I'm already getting conflicting information. Some people say that this guitar does have a maple veneer on it. Other people are saying that it doesn't. Really, I don't know why it would have a maple veneer on it because it's just painted white. I don't think it has a maple veneer. I believe that the new 2021s don't. So anyone who wants to clarify, definitely go leave that in the comments. Same thing with the fretboard wood as well. This was made in 2014 before all the CITES regulations really started kicking in. So it either has a rosewood or an ebony fretboard, but I'm almost positive it's rosewood that's just been darkened a lot because one of the big selling points of like the new revamped 2020 customs is that they finally come with ebony fretboards. I'm pretty sure it's just a rosewood fretboard that's been darkened to all hell. Whether it's ebony or rosewood, I really like the way it looks and it plays really nice. It's got Grover tuners, lock tone hardware, a Graph Tech nut. It comes with the Epiphone's Pro Bucker pickups, which is like their top of the line pickups. It also comes with 2 push-pull coil splits on the volumes, and then the neck tone knob, I believe, it has the in and out of phase switch, which I really do enjoy. And then the neck profile on it is supposed to be like a 60s slim taper. The back of the neck is super flat, and then it kind of rounds off on the edges. It's not really like Ibanez thin, but it's also definitely nowhere near like a baseball bat. It's kind of in the middle on the thinner side, but it's also flat, and I don't know, I like the way that feels. And yeah, I think that's all the specs, unless I'm a fucking idiot. watching this video so far, I'm sure the one big burning question you guys have is, why did I get the older version instead of the new 2020 version? And that question has a lot of answers, so I'll try and answer them all right now. I've been wanting an Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro for quite a long time, like at least a couple of years, and this year was the year where I finally decided to be like, okay, I'm gonna get one of those this year. And it also just so happened to be the year that they completely revamped their line and changed everything. And for a while there, I actually did consider getting one of the new 2020 versions, especially since I found some like B-stock versions on Reverb that had a considerable amount of the price taken off, because the newer ones are a bit more expensive. But before I was ready to buy the guitar, those got sold, so that kind of took that out of the equation. Mainly I wanted one of the older ones, because if you look, I've got one of the new 2020 ones sitting right next to it. That is a 2020 Epiphone Les Paul Classic, which is the next guitar I'm going to review. This is a fantastic guitar, and I really do dig what Epiphone's doing with their new line. But I also really did enjoy the older line of Epiphones. And so yeah, I've just been planning on buying a custom Pro for a while, and that way, since I do that, I have one new Epiphone and one old Epiphone. You bet your ass comparison videos are coming in the future. And so it's cool. I have like the new headstock and then the old headstock. Some people really dislike the old headstock, and I'm not gonna lie. When I was first, like my first couple of years of playing guitar, I was in that camp, because one of my first like real guitars that I ever got was an Epiphone Zakk Wylde Les Paul Custom. And man, I just hated the way the old Epiphone headstock looked. All I wanted was to have the Gibson headstock. But then once I did eventually get my Gibson Les Paul, I started warming up to the old headstock shape. I really do like it now, especially with the custom fittings. But I also like the way the new 2020 headstock looks. So I think it's cool that I got an older one and a new one now. And now going back to my Zakk Wylde Epiphone Les Paul Custom, I really did love that guitar. Eventually I hit a point where I was like, I want guitars that are mine, not really somebody else's, if that makes sense. So eventually I did end up letting go of that guitar, but I did miss it a whole lot. And this is like the perfect compromise, because I do get the nostalgia of having an old white Epiphone Les Paul Custom, but it's not the Zakk Wylde version, it's just the standard version that I can make my own. And on top of that, the Zakk Wylde one had like a freaking baseball bat of a neck, and I know some people love that, but I have pretty aggressive carpal tunnel in my hands. The bigger necks trigger it a lot faster, and my hands will cramp up faster. So throughout the years of my carpal tunnel becoming more and more apparent, the Zakk Wylde guitar would start to really hurt to play. And that was one of the other main reasons why I ended up letting that go. With this neck, it's got one of the thinner necks, which I prefer nowadays. It's like I'm getting that Zakk Wylde guitar back, but with everything I didn't want. Like I still have a white Les Paul Custom, and it's something that I can make my own, but it also gives me that nostalgia of my old first real guitar. So it's like the best of both worlds. Sorry if that's a very confusing answer, but those are kind of the main points as to why I chose to get the older model instead of the newer model. I hope that answers that question. Now let's get into the pros and cons. I guess we'll start with the cons. So the main con that I can think of right now is that honestly it just needs a little bit more maintenance. I need to go take it to a guitar tech so they can level and crown the frets a little bit, because there's one fret up on the upper register. All 6 strings are just dead, but that's only really on one fret, and it just needs a little bit of work. Everything else I absolutely adore about this guitar. I love the way it looks. A white Les Paul Custom has always just been like one of the guitars that has been my absolute favorite. A big reason for that is Randy Rhoads, of course, but also before I even knew who Randy Rhoads was, I saw a white Les Paul Custom at Guitar Center. I thought it was one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen in my life. If you want me to get a little torqued and a little turned on, show me a Honeyburst Les Paul or a white Les Paul Custom. So it hits me right here and also down there. And now I have one of each. No, they're not Gibsons, but I'm not one of those pretentious tools that talk down Epiphone. Epiphones are fantastic guitars, especially for the price. The Gibsons are amazing guitars too. Not everybody can blow $2,000 like that. So definitely don't feel ashamed or feel like you're less of a guitar player for having an Epiphone instead of a Gibson. And don't let those pretentious fucking tools try and convince you of that either. More pros. I like the neck. Feels good. Doesn't hurt my hands as much. Grover tuners, you can never go wrong. Same with the Graphtec nut. Now it is a 2014 and it does have some signs of wear and tear on it. I'm pretty sure who owned this guitar before me used it for gigging. There is a pretty significant, almost like dent right where the neck and the fretboard meet. It's not like cracked or anything. I think it's just a crack in the finish, but it's kind of just got like this little like dent in it. I'll show you a shot of it right now. You can't even really feel it when you're playing. It's just kind of like a visual blemish, if anything. And then just the gold on it is slowly starting to age more and more, but honestly, I kind of like it. It looks cool. It's kind of got that mojo of like an older school guitar, of like a vintage guitar, because the gold has kind of got like that patina on it, and there's some spots where it's faded, but it's still very obviously gold. So I love the way it looks. It definitely feels like a well played and well loved guitar, and I'm very proud to be the new owner of it. And one of my highest praises, on top of how it feels to play, is the pickups that came in it. Now, I know Pro Buckers are like Epiphone's like highest quality pickups that they make. Normally, they do sound really, really good, but for some reason, the pickups in that guitar are insane. Philip McKnight was talking about how like most pickups have like a range, and like every now and then you get a unicorn. That's definitely a unicorn. It's got this crunch and this punch to it. Combined with my PV amp, it's just one of the most insane and one of my favorite tones that I've ever gotten out of a guitar, and I just love those pickups. All three settings sound insane, especially the bridge cranked to 10. Another one of my favorite things is the in and out of phase switch, the phase inverter. A lot of the times, an in and out of phase switch can sound pretty harsh, but this one's got like the perfect amount of it. That's like just one of the best things I could say about this guitar is just I have fun playing it, especially with the sound I can get out of that one. It's just I love that guitar. I'm so glad I chose to get it, and I'm so glad I got this particular Custom Pro, because for a while there I was actually looking at one that was in my city at my local musical round. For like 2 months I went back and kept playing that guitar. Probably like 2 weeks before I was ready to actually go buy the guitar, that one got sold, so I ended up having to order, but I'm kind of glad I did, because the pickups on that other Custom Pro are nothing compared to that one. That one sounds insane. I love those pickups. I love the way it plays. I love everything about this guitar. The value that I got for the price that I paid is bonkers. Rating scale, I don't think there's really anything perfect in this world, so I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10, but I'll probably give it like a 9.97 out of 10. I don't know how much harder I can bash that into your head, but I love that guitar. For what you get for the value, it is a fantastic instrument. So if the new 2020 Epiphone Les Paul Custom is a little bit out of your price range, maybe look at some of the older Custom Pros, because I'm pretty sure they are equally as awesome as the new ones. I do want to play one of the newer ones, but for now, I am more than content with that guitar. I haven't even had it that long, and it's become one of my favorite guitars that I've ever owned. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap up this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you enjoyed, let me know by leaving a like, leave a comment, give me your thoughts and opinions, share this video around, subscribe for more if you haven't already, hit the bell notification notifications so you can be notified when I upload my next guitar review, which will probably be of my 2020 Classic. I love that guitar. I'll be keeping it for a long time coming, and if anything is gonna replace it, it'll probably be a white Gibson Les Paul Custom. But who knows, I'll probably just keep both of them. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.